To fend off tourists, a town in Japan is building a big screen blocking the view of Mount Fuji. My first thoughts on the title is that more than likely that town depends on the money from tourism. So to set up a screen to block the view of Mount Fuji, that seems like you'd be cutting off your own hand. I don't know. Let's take a look at this story. Known for a number of scenic photo spots that offer a near perfect shot of Japan's iconic Mount Fuji, the town on Tuesday began constructing a large black screen on a stretch of sidewalk to block the view of the mountain. The reason? Misbehaving foreign tourists, gaijin. I can't pronounce that name and I'll give it a try. Kawaguchiko is a town built on tourism. Like I just said, it's a town built on tourism. So if you block the view, wouldn't that be kind of hurting your pockets? A town built on tourism and a welcome many visitors, and the town welcomes them too, but there are many things about their manners that are worrying, said Michi Matamochi, owner of a cafe serving Japanese sweets Ohagi near the soon to be blocked photo spot. Motomochi mentioned littering, crossing the road with busy traffic, ignoring traffic lights, trespassing into private properties. She isn't unhappy though. 80% of her customers are foreign visitors whose numbers have surged after a pandemic hiatus that kept Japan closed for about 2 years. Wow, look at the view. All right. Her neighborhood suddenly became a popular spot about 2 years ago, apparently after a photo taken in a particular angle showing Mount Fuji in the background as if sitting atop a local convenience store became a social media sensation known as Mount Fuji Lawson, town officials say. The mostly foreign tourists have since crowded the small area, triggering a wave of concerns and complaints from residents about visitors blocking the narrow sidewalk, taking photos on the busy road, or walking into neighbors' properties, officials said. In Europe, concerns over tourist overcrowding historic cities led Venice last week to launch a pilot program to charge day trippers a €5, $5.35 entry fee. Authorities hope it will discourage visitors from arriving on peak days and make the city more livable for its dwindling residents. Fujiwaguchi Hiko, say that a couple of times, has tried other methods, signs urging visitors not to run into the road and to use the designated crosswalk in English, Chinese, Thai, and Korean, and even hiring a security guard as crowd control. None worked. Why not give them fines? I guess that's the part of the screen they're building. It says workers set up a barricade near the Lawson convenience store Tuesday, April 30th, 2024 at Fujikawakuchi Chiko Town, Yamanashi Prefecture, Central Japan. The black mesh net, when completed in mid May, will be 2.5 meters, 8.2 feet high and 20 meters, 65.6 feet long, and will almost completely block the view of Mount Fuji, officials said. Dozens of tourists gathered Tuesday taking photos even though Mount Fuji was not in sight due to cloudy weather. Anthony Hawk from France thought the screen was an overreaction. Too big solution for a subject not as big. Even if tourists are making trouble, doesn't look right to me, he said. The 26-year-old suggested setting up road barriers for safety instead of blocking views for pictures. But Helen Poole, a 34-year-old visitor from the UK, was sympathetic to the local concern. While traveling in Japan in the past few weeks, she has seen tourism really ramped up here in Japan from what we've seen. I can see why people who live and work here might want to do something about that, she said. Noting many were taking pictures even when the mountain was not in the view. That's the power of the social media. There you see the same spot, but the clouds are so thick you can't see Mount Fuji behind it. Okay. Foreign visitors have flocked to Japan since the pandemic border restrictions were lifted, in part due to a weaker yen. Last year, Japan had more than 25 million visitors, and the number this year is expected to surpass nearly 32 million, a record from 2019, according to Japan National Tourism Organization, and the government wants more tourists. They want more tourists, but they don't want the problem that comes with it. If you ask me, they need to find a better solution. I think giving people fines would do it. Maybe that's just me, though. While the booming tourism has helped the industry, it has triggered complaints from residents in popular tourist destinations such as Kyoto and Kamakura. In Kyoto, a famous geisha district recently decided to close some private property alleys. Locals are uncertain about what to do. Matamuchi said she cannot imagine how the black screen can help control the flow of people on the narrow pedestrian walk and the road next to it. Yohihiko Ogawa, who runs more than half-century-old rice shop in the Fujiwakuchi area, said the overcrowding worsened in the past few months, with tourists gathering from around 4 to 5 a.m. and talking loudly. He sometimes struggles to get his car in and out of garage. Well, just move the car. I guarantee you they'll move or get ran over. We've never thought we'd face a situation like this, Ogawa said, adding he is unsure what the solution might be. I suppose we all need to get used to it. Well, what you can do is you create special areas for the tourists outside of the town, on the outskirts of the town, so they won't bother anybody. You should try to create viewing platforms on either side of the city that might help with the problem. Wow, what a view. I hope to go see it one day. Iconic views. Is that the end of the story? Let's see. Yep, that's the end of the story. All right, I'm going to go ahead and upload this, and be sure to let me know what you think.